I work like an hour changing things, and then I don't realize that there's save changes at the bottom. And then I'm like, gosh, now I'm going to go back and do all of that again.
There we go. People are moving smoothly now, it looks like.
There
he is.
Let me get the tweets out.
Okay, so I guess let me know when you're ready and I'll hit the music.
Yep. It is now.
Oh, and I'm cutting the outro.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You're cutting the outro?
Yeah.
Okay. So we
just... You guys tweet this? Or...
Yeah. Well, the Grills account wasn't letting me tweet. Annoyingly enough.
Oh, Jason Howell. What a nice dude.
Crap, I need to...
I think I tweeted it on mine. Yeah, I tweeted it on my account, though. It'll just have to be good enough. I don't know. It just was giving me an error when I was trying to tweet it. I was just like, you want me to put it in drafts? And I kept retrying, and I don't know.
Okay. I have shared the post on Facebook, so I'm set to go.
Yeah, tweet.
This is the one thing I hate the most about podcasting. Mm-hmm. Is all the and I don't know. There's one show where I planned way in advance that as I created my show doc, I already had the language ready, and I could just go cut paste boom, or even time some of them. But
Okay, thank you, Jen. She's tweeting and stuff.
Mm.
So.
Oh, okay.
I'm ready.
Ready.
Shut up and sit down.
So hello, and welcome to episode 85 of Geek Girls, a podcast in which geeky women and sometimes guests, gather to record topical conversations and then offer it to the masses. The Geek
and
Girls
sometimes cell phone updates.
Cell phone updates. The Geek Girls podcast is supported solely by our patrons. You can go find us at www.patreon.com/grills. I'm Linda, and I'm here with my co-host September, also known as 9 of 12.
Hi.
And Jackie Hern is joining us again to fill in for the Jen.
Howdy ho!
Who is working and really, really not sneaking and watching us in chat at all.
Of course not.
Hey, Jen.
Hi, Jen! So what have you guys, girls, been up to this week? Jackie?
I've not a whole lot. It's kind of embarrassing. You guys... Yeah, I mean, I was on last week, so thinking about what I've been up to. It was really weak last week because I created a swamp cooler, so I have very less to commit to. But I've been continuing to work on finger puppets. I'm now working on a series of Max Trollbot finger puppets, and that will come out of this in a little box or something. And in addition, I've been watching, while I'm crafting, as we discussed last week, I've been watching stuff while I do that, and I've been super excited and involved in the Zen Diaries of Gary Shandling, the documentary on his life on HBO, which is a 2-part series, about 4 hours, and my geekdom comes a lot from comedy, and I think I said that last time, that without comedy, I wouldn't be here today. Like, I depend on it heavily to get myself through day after day. And a lot of my comedy heroes are people kind of around in that Gary Shandling world, including Bob Odenkirk and many, many others who are on the Larry Sanders Show. So it's a really great show. I also binged very, very quickly, for some reason, Wild Wild Country. I don't know if you guys... Did you guys catch any of that? Or it's on Netflix.
What's about?
Crazy, bizarre... and I should have written the guy's name down so I could pronounce it correctly. But this guy, he was like a guru, like a sort of a motivational guru from India, Rashand. Anyway, so they basically bought a bunch of land in Oregon and developed a whole city. And in order to do that, they had to overpopulate the town, and they brought in all the homeless people from various cities in the country on buses so they could vote out the city commission that existed in Oregon. And anyways, it's a very bizarre tale, and I think it's very well done. So I've been doing that, and yeah, just doing my typical crafting, watching, absorbing.
Needy.
Cool. What have you been up to, Ember?
Well, husband and I went to see Ready Player One.
Have
either of you seen it?
I haven't seen it yet.
I have not either.
Matt went to go see it. Since he's got Movie Pass, and I was busy doing something, and he was like, "Would you mind if I went to see it without you?" And I was like, "No, go."
I totally loved it. It was a really, really great time. They had to do a lot of things differently from the book, but I'm really okay with that. I always am. I mean, they're different mediums. And they did it in ways they felt like they added different... They got a lot of the properties, which everyone was worried about, like it wouldn't be the same book because of all the pop culture stuff in it, if they couldn't get permission for all those properties. And they had all those in, which was cool, but they kind of added some that... broaden the audience maybe for like the more obscure references that only hardcore nerds would get and only people who read the book or whatever. They mentioned Twitch, which I don't remember being in the book, but I was like, that makes sense to add a mention of that. One of the coolest things for me was the charm of making happening. Because I was like, they're reading Al Nathraku Thras Betho Dose Genve. And I'm like, she's got to do it 3 times. I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm like, it flew right out of my head. I'm like, what's that from? Like, I know this spell, and I could not place it for the life of me, but it's like the charm of making from Excalibur, which came out in the early 80s. And I don't know why I memorized it when I was young, but I did.
Whoa.
Nifty, obscure, little weird reference.
Excellent.
And those were lots of fun. Oh, and another neat updated things, because we're a bunch of Blizzard fans. I am, and the audience, I know, and Jen is Tracer was in it. Spoiler. I mean, she's just in the background. It's not, doesn't have a part, but it was like, ooh, Blizzard property. I wonder what they got for that.
So right, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how sensitive you guys are to spoilers. Like, I don't really honestly care myself, but I was going to ask, and don't answer it if you don't think it's appropriate, but like, so this really does kind of move way beyond the book? Or
No.
do you want to...
No, it tells the overarching thematic. It keeps all the thematic elements and tells that story. There's just little bits of how things happen that they changed.
Okay.
So unless you're really attached to like how he got a certain item or something, you know, then there's no reason to freak out and hate it, in my opinion.
Gotcha.
But some haters will
yeah.
hate. What else? Oh, I got the new Warcraft Chronicles book, and that was gorgeous. And it has Tyrande on the front, some beautiful art. Those books are so gorgeous. And it covers all the way up to Cataclysm, so that's kind of cool. What else? I also got the latest Doomsday Clock comic. I'm still really enjoying that. What else? Okay, lots of Pokemon Go stuff, because there's new legendaries. Latias and Latios. Right now, just Latios. So that's exciting to run around. People get all excited. And we've got so many more people showing up in person now, because there's a shadow ban. And all the cheater flyers are being forced to go play. And there's a lot of extra driving they have to do. I was joking with them yesterday. I was like, oh, because you're all just so elite, it's hard mode for you. Because they're grayed out. Like, they can only see Pidgeys and rats. And then they've got these new quest lines going on. So we have tasks from trainers to go do certain things, like catch 3 of a certain type and have this many great throws or whatever.
That one's gonna kill me, man. I can't throw worth shit.
Oh, I know. You know what? I am really bad at it too. I had to get 3 great curveballs in a row, and I was like, holy shit, what am I gonna do? But on a legendary, you know, like the throws are easier, the circle's so big. That's how I ended up getting those. Like, I got my 3 greats in a row on a Lapras before it was gone. It was like, so there are ways, or, you know, maybe you can hook up with people who are better at it. I've done that too. Will you throw this for me? But there's like catching poison types or shadow types, and they can't see any of them. So we were on our way to a legendary raid, and all the flyers peeled off and ran over to like a Gengar raid because they need it for this quest, and they can't get it except in a raid because they're all banned or shadow banned, whatever the hell that entails. So that's been really interesting. Lots of drama.
So that's interesting. I see that you wrote about you got an article about that in the Geek Grapevine, so I'd be interested to see that. So my plushie update.
He's so fluffy, I'm gonna die!
I have finished my little Charmeleon.
Wow, that looks so good!
I'm really, really happy with how his face came out. Like, I was
those eyes
super
are
happy.
Great.
Yeah, like I don't know what it was about this particular one, but he seemed to take forever. And then I like finally got his face done, and I was like, "You're pretty damn awesome looking."
That is brilliant.
So
You
he
are
is.
a constant inspiration to me now. I'm so amazed about what you can churn out in a week.
Well, this little guy took a little bit more than a week, but
But
he's
I mean,
for the
we saw
stream.
your progress, yeah. So now I really know, like, yeah, that's
So the next one on the list is the Charizard. And I was making a comment like on the stream, like I should stop making ones that have more than 4 limbs, but the next one I'm making has more than that. But whatever. I'm doing them in order. So there. But besides that,
You can't just skip to, you know, Blissey, Chansey, like just big balls. Wigglytuff,
yeah,
Jigglypuff,
just the
Jigglypuff.
big balls, the Ditto. I'm not looking forward to the
Ditto.
Ninetales. That's gonna take forever.
I want to see how you're going to get those wings to be stiff on Charizard.
I don't know. I'll figure it out. That's the thing.
I'm sure you will.
One of these streams, I'm just like, I'll figure it out. I don't know how. I did find that, like, on that note, I guess, I finally finished organizing my my yarn and office. I can see the floor now, which is nice. I've got a new set of shelves back there. I didn't actually count because what I was doing to organize my yarn is I was balling it with my yarn baller, making round skeins. Like, hold on. Come here. Like this, so they're actually like not super oblong.
So for our audio listeners, it's kind of like a ball of twine you would buy, the cylindrical shape.
So those are easier to fit in my boxes. And I didn't keep count, but I think I have somewhere in the vicinity of 250 skeins and remnants. I might have too much yarn.
Wow.
And I got my MomoCon inventory started, so I have a huge list of all the stuff that I've got and its prices. I've got somewhere about $1,200 worth of inventory right now. So I just gotta keep it up and keep making stuff.
This seems really bulky to transport. Like, do you have a van?
I actually have. There's behind my little chair back there. There is a giant suitcase. You can just see the top of it. It is the tall, about as tall as that chair is. So about taller than my desk. And right now it's got all of my inventory in it. I am probably going to have to get an extra tub, though, to get all the excess. But I can pack really well, because yarn squishes. And it comes back into its shape very easily.
There's that.
Yeah.
And I actually streamed a game this week. I streamed some Slime Rancher. I had some fun comments. There was somebody that was like, that tabbies are the worst to cross, and you're gonna drive the market down. And I was like, I don't care. I just wanted 1 million cats.
We all have different priorities in games, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. And then I started playing Pokemon Go again because of the raids and such. Or not raids. Raids too, but the interesting thing. Let's see. I have to win 3 gym battles and make 2 nice curveball throws. That's the field research. And I am on the mythical discovery 2 of 8, which means I need to make 10 great throws. I've made 1 so far. Earn 2 candies walking my buddy and hatch 3 eggs. So I'm going to have to be walking around quite a bit. Just got to find some more time for it. But probably I can do that some tomorrow.
I love it. I think it's a great thing. A lot of the people who are flyers I have found also spend a lot of money in the game. And they're all convinced that they're just, Niantic doesn't know what they're doing. They're going to go broke, and they're going to unban us because they'll see how much money they're losing. It's like, they've got that data, you know. They know who they banned and what they were spending. I think there's a misunderstanding about who the base players are, who fell off, who will come back for things like these, you know, little achievement things, who will come back when the flyers aren't dominating so many of the gyms that you can't have fun. Little old ladies who never played a video game in their life before this. You know, there's a lot of variance, and it was definitely a calculated risk they took to make these changes.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like, and I'm pretty sure it's just temporary. I don't know how long it's going to be for, but the pixelated style is cute, but I can't see.
It'll be gone.
I don't
I
recognize.
believe on the 7th. It's okay. It's their April Fool's joke.
I figured, and I was just like, I just didn't know how long it was going to last for, so I was like, these are cute, but I can't tell what some of these are. I don't know what you are.
Yeah, but they show the same when you're catching them, and you know, on your main screen.
in the main part of the game.
Yeah,
I was just like, they did that, and I was like, oh, that's their April Fools, but it's kind of cute because it's, you know, it's the 8-bit.
Yeah,
so
and
it's hard for me to see.
To me, it was really obvious because they were like, our new super never just seen before fantastic 8-bit graphics, and people in some of the chats I'm in were freaking out. This is so horrible and stupid, and I can't believe they did this, and I hate it. I'm like, April Fools, calm down. It's okay. Yeah. But I kind of thought it would be gone by today. I thought it would just last like 3 days or whatever to get around the globe.
Yeah, but I guess
they're
maybe
gonna wait
they just
till
wanted
whatever update.
Just a little farther.
Yeah. There's something else I was going to say about that. I don't know. Oh, there's cute things I like seeing because I didn't play a lot of the game when it was 8-bit. Like Snorlax has a different, like he's actually laying down.
Yeah,
sleeping.
and like snoozing.
Yeah. Well, my shinies don't look shiny.
That's crazy because I did play it when it was 8-bit on the Game Boy way back, I guess when it first came out, and I just have such a vague memory of that now. I can't even quite remember how it was that we would exchange Pokemons between people. I think you would link your Game Boys up somehow? Was it like a
my
USB
kids
cord,
do
or
that.
how did that work?
My kids do that. They can trade. And then they have Tuesday nights, some kind of mega trading event that happens.
I remember seeing that. I don't remember if it was some sort of wire thing or if it was like you had to get super close to one another, like a wireless exchange.
Yeah, I think it would, which was kind of bizarre because this was like the mid to late 90s. Like this was like at least around 95. It couldn't have been later than 95, 96.
Well, I think it was different in different iterations of the game.
Interesting. You know what? I promise you, the next time you have me on, because I won't be back next week, because I know you guys have to do your 1-year anniversary special, and I probably, I'm very much looking forward to that. Jumping ahead to what I'm anticipating. However, next time you have me back, I'm gonna dig all that stuff out and bring it out and show you what I got just for funsies.
Oh gosh, I don't even have I never had a Game Boy, but I had a couple of those little Disney handheld games growing up. I had the Dalmatians one and the Lion King one, or it was Aladdin. I can't remember which. I remember the Dalmatians one very specifically. It was like one of my favorite little games. I don't even know where it's got to.
I wish I had thought enough to have that ready for you today, but yeah.
I never had any of that stuff. But my kids had really fancy ones. So
hey, that's what's important.
And they have old school Game Boy Colors, because some years ago when I was working on the Obama campaign, I was in Raleigh and I stayed at this house with the most wonderful hosts in the world who'd leave homemade jam on my pillow and
I mean, not on your pillow, right?
Well, not in a jar, right?
No. That's mean. There's nothing better than homemade jam.
Yeah.
Ask Andy Beach. Yeah.
And his roommate gave me, because we got into talking about World of Warcraft, and he recognized I was a nerd. He's like, "You have kids, right?" And he gave me 2 old school big gray little screen Game Boys for my kids. And we had to go on eBay and find, I think he gave us the original Pokemon, Yellow or whatever it was.
Oh.
And found some old games, and that was really nifty.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I got nostalgia for this, and I never even had one. But my kids they like retro gaming, so that was cool.
Right, so I guess we can move on to the Geek Grapevine now. So the first story we got is about this shadow ban. I assume that's you, Amber.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of put these links in here. I knew I was going to talk about it and what's been going on in my week, because I've been spending a lot of time in Go.
Oh, no.
But it's great. What?
Sorry, I opened the link.
Oh.
And an ad started to play. I was like, stop.
It's okay, we can't hear it. But with spring break going on, it's been really nice and handy, and lots of people are out playing, but I wanted to have these links in the notes for our listeners. So if they don't know yet about how to get the new legendaries and what's going on with these bans, if they log into their account and have a nasty warning, they'll know why.
Whoa.
Alright.
So, I also put this story in. Okay. Because this was awesome. This is a fantastic story I found on Geek Tyrant, and it's Mark Hamill talking about how he created his Joker voice. And
Mark Hamill's a little crazy. He's a little crazy mofo.
And I love that the point of this article is all right, Heath Ledger gave us a great Joker, but he's not my Joker. And I resonate with that. I like different things about the different Jokers. I actually really don't like Heath Ledger, and I didn't like Jared Leto's either. But I know I'm an outlier there. But Hamill's voice in the animated for that Joker is just, it's stuck. It's brilliant. He owned it. So
Well, and that's the Joker that I grew up with. I remember watching the animated series on Cartoon Network, and like that voice is the one that I think of. I don't think of Heath Ledger's because that was farther on in my life. I don't think of the earlier
Nicholson?
ones. It's that one.
I love Nicholson, but
Or oh gosh, who's the one dude? Jack Nicholson.
yeah.
Mhm.
With
you know, by
things
the
in
way,
his face, like the recent Gotham Joker has been doing this thing. I was like, he's doing that Nicholson face.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was like, it was a strange coincidence, but I also got some like Rocky Horror love in here because Mark Hamill mentions Claude Rains as the Invisible Man, and he uses that phrasing, and so to me that was just like from Rocky Horror Picture Show theme, and I was like, I wonder if he's like me. And I only ever saw that movie because I wanted to get the reference because I was a Rocky fan. I don't know.
Interesting.
But
yeah,
how
you know,
he
I have
combined
a very
ideas
unique.
and voices, it's a really interesting article.
I have a very unique experience that I could. I don't know how interesting it is or not. But there was a period of time where I worked in the Department of State office in California, and I worked like a floor, one or two floors above the museum. And for a while, they had all of that Joker from the Jack Nicholson era. All of the costumes, the car, and everything show up, and it was basically in the California Hall of Museum Hall of Fame, and they were inducting Jack Nicholson, a couple other people, and this is during when Arnold Schwarzenegger was governor and stuff, so it was like a big hoo-ha. And I ran into George Lucas in the elevator by mistake, and I got in trouble because I used the elevator that they were taking the celebrities in.
Oops.
and I was like, whatever, I don't care. Whatever. You're George Lucas. Hey man. Hey. You know, like I'm not gonna, you know, but what I do want to say is what I like about the story that you linked, this one in particular that I'm sure they'll be in your show notes is I didn't have a chance to look into it because I only caught this at the end right before we started. But Mark Hamill hilariously reads Donald Trump's New Year's tweet in Joker's voice.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
I'll have to check that out later. But that sounds
It's pretty hilarious.
awesome. I don't know how I missed that one, but yeah.
Let's see. I found an article also from the Geek Tyrant. I didn't realize they were from the same news place. But Stranger Things, Universal Studios is bringing Stranger Things to their Halloween Horror Nights. So they're going to be making like
Is this in Orlando or
in all of the Universal places.
Oh, Hollywood and Orlando.
Yeah.
Okay,
Visit
yeah,
my
and
mother.
Singapore. And okay.
Yeah. So they're going to do like mazes like you're in the Upside Down. They're going to be doing like a bunch of stuff for that. I know it's not until Halloween time,
yeah.
but they like put that out today that it's coming, and I was just like, I don't think we're going down there at that time of year, but it'd be really cool to go into there. I mean, I think I think the place that was the big field in the second season, that farm. I think they're doing something like, I don't know if it's year round or if it's just at Halloween time. Nowadays they just started last year. But that's actually somewhere I could go because it's in Georgia. So I'd just be like, let's go over to the Stranger Things farm.
Yeah. Nifty. I might have to
Fair
go visit
enough.
my mother. She lives in Florida. I've
Yep.
been in Universal Studios Halloween Horror since 1992.
I have spent a good portion of my time all over the state of Florida and all over California, and I have not been to Universal once, which is weird. I've been to
only
Disney many times, but yeah.
Yeah, I've only been to Universal once, and that
Want to.
was way before they put in the Harry Potter stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to
did-
go back for that at least once.
I did get to
Yeah.
go a couple years ago and do the Harry Potter stuff, and that was I loved it. When I used to work at Disney, I didn't spend a whole lot of time at Universal, but I did get to go a few times. Like I got to go to the Halloween one because I knew people that worked there who used to work with me at Disney and took me.
Disney World, or
Yeah.
Orlando,
Yeah.
or
Orlando.
California.
Orlando.
Oh wow, awesome! Yeah, I have a ton of friends who've worked there in the past. Interesting, probably around the same time, but there's millions of them. So interesting.
All right. So what do you got, Jackie?
Oh yeah, sure. I was gonna talk about this, but it's like there's really nothing to say. But I thought it was kind of funny because I saw the story, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, no, this is not true. But the title was Black Panther stole idea from Tracy Morgan. I'm like, no. That's not possible. But anyways, it's a YouTube video, and it's Tracy Morgan on Jimmy no, not Jimmy Kimmel. God, which one was it? I'm gonna have to open it now. Jimmy Fallon. Duh, Jimmy Fallon. The name just totally escaped me, which is dumb because I've always liked Jimmy Fallon. But anyways. I only wanted to show it to you guys because there's this cardboard cutout of so basically Tracy Morgan is trying to get some attention by showing this cardboard cutout of him almost kind of dressed like Batman, but he's got Bobcat. And so apparently he created the story Bobcat. So we all know it's a big lie, but it was really funny, and I thought because you guys are both cat people that that they said that Bobcat's superpowers was that he likes to pounce, that he drinks a lot of milk, and that he sleeps for 20 hours.
I mean that is a cat, so
Yeah. Anyways, but one of you guys, I can't remember when we were talking in pre-show. You said you weren't a big fan of Tracy Morgan, which
Yeah,
I
that was
get
me.
because honestly, I feel like his comedy. I mean, I love The Man to Pieces, and it's so horrible about the tragedy that he had with the wall. Yeah,
His recovery.
but
has been
I
amazing.
don't feel like he's really come back that strong. And I know tonight, I think it's on TBS. I'm not sure what network, but he has a new show coming out tonight, and there's a lot of great people in it, and the reviews are not great. So,
Well, I've been forced to see the trailer for that movie coming out. He's like, I've been going to. Why they're showing that at nerd movies? I don't know. Like, I'm going to see Ready Player One, and go to see, and then see like the OG, whatever. It looks so terrible. Like,
Yeah,
I'm all about
yeah,
super offensive comedy. I mean, like, I'm a huge Key and Peele fan, but they're funny.
Oh yeah,
It's just so.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't know.
love
It's
them.
something about his delivery, like Tracy Morgan. I'm just like, dude.
I
it's
just
such
kind
an
of feel
eye
for the
roll.
man.
Like,
I
it's
don't know. Yeah. But even this little bit that he tried to work out in Jimmy Fallon, like there was a little bit of giggles about it, but I don't know. I just so again, this I think
Dude,
this
little
just goes
try
in line
hard, dude.
with my Christina Aguilera mention last week. Where why are you even bringing this up, Jackie?
Hey, it's something to talk about, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I guess. But so aside from that, April Fools. So I posted a link just to a general Guardian story about April Fools, and because that's a big thing in the tech world and all these websites, and it's big in every corporation. Like, the one thing we know that Mother's Day is corporatized. Like, the reason Mother's Day started was about a woman who wanted to honor her mother back in, like, 1895 at a church. And then it turned into the commercialization of Mother's Day. And she got really depressed about it because, like, they took that thing away and it became this thing where you have to buy flowers, you have to get cards, Valentine's, Christmas, Easter, everything is commercialized. But now, somehow corporations have found a way to turn April Fools into something that is so commercialized just by their dumb jokes. Coca-Cola creating an avocado Coca-Cola. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's like I said, I don't even if an article or something comes out on April Fool's Day, I just don't read it anymore.
Yeah.
I just wait. I'm like, if it's still there tomorrow, it probably is legit. But
Yeah.
I appreciate things like we talked about the Pokemon Go doing the whole pixelated 8-bit thing. It's cute, it's funny, it's nostalgic, it's a funny joke. World of Warcraft used to do more elaborate things. They haven't done much the last couple years, but I know last year and this year, and I didn't read them yet. My husband was really getting a kick out of them, though. They have, like, fake patch notes with all kinds of little Easter eggy, you have to know the lore to know what the joke is, and some are really obvious, and I appreciate that. It's like putting effort to, crack some jokes with your fan base.
Yeah.
Right? I'm
Well, see,
cool with
I mean,
that. Things
that's
that are
the
fake
appeal
news
to me
are stupid.
Yeah, like I mean, the appeal to me is just that I look forward to seeing what companies or other people or whatever big whatever corporations and crap do to see if it's actually funny, and it never really ever is.
I came across
however,
the Rick and Morty one.
To go, I'm sorry, what?
The Rick and Morty one.
What this year?
Okay, yeah. And I just happened to be staying up late watching TV, and Adult Swim was on, and it was on. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because, Rick and Morty is really weird and out there, and I like it. I think it's funny. It was horrifying. It was like terrible animation. It was this, like, Australians did a version of Rick and Morty. So they're all talking Australian, and they're in the outback, and they're talking about... But... No, it was bad. It went too far with... I mean, this... Morty gets bitten by a snake on his dick, and Rick's trying to he's got to suck it out, and then they give him to put something on his... A slug on his dick to cure him, and then they're like, hey, April Fools. I'm like... Oh, and it was just awful.
We can do better. We can do better than toilet humor and poop jokes for, it's just come on, comedy. Where are the comedy writers?
Extra gross out, and no, I don't know what they thought they were doing.
But we've talked a lot about the Pokemon, and so I found this one story, and I had to add it in just because I listed the April Fool's stuff, and I don't think we should spend too much time talking about April Fools because it's so overtalked. But I don't really understand this story at all. However, I'm going to kind of give you the overview really quick, and it is from Geek.com, and it is this Japanese prefecture appointed a Pokemon as its governor. So I do a little research right away. I'm like, wait, is this like a state in Japan? Like, how does this work? But it is apparently a government district, and they chose a Pokemon to represent it. And they announced this on April Fool's. But however, apparently this is not really an April Fool's joke. But they're going to use this character, and my computer's crashing, so I can't scroll down, but it's Slowpoke? Is that his name?
Yeah.
What is... Do you
It
guys
does
have
say
it? Can you guys... Yeah.
that it's
okay,
probably
it's
just a regular April Fool's Day joke, as the official Kagawa prefectural government website still has Kizo Hamada as its governor. So,
Oh, okay.
It's really
okay,
cute.
Okay. But he's gonna be but they're gonna put him on a package of noodles, right?
Yes, udon.
Okay.
Because it's in
Well,
the
it's
udon
like-
province.
It's like there was a story a while back. I can't remember what state it was in. It was like, I want to say like Montana or some one of the Midwest states. One of the towns had a dog as its governor.
Yeah, it's man. Yeah.
But it was that it was cute.
no, that is cute.
I just did send that article to my raid team, by the way.
Okay, good. Well, the video, if you watch the YouTube video, I don't know if did you guys get a chance to watch that at all?
No.
Because they do a little
Not yet.
commercial, and it's kind of hilarious. I don't know. Is it wrong for me to say that? Because a lot of people say it as Americans, and it just shows like how naive and dumb I am. But a lot of Japanese humor is so crazy and out there and bizarre that I love it. I love it. Like, I mean.
Well, have you seen Ellen's new game show?
No.
It, to me, I mean, even though she's been doing those kind
like
of crazy
Japanese
game show things on her talk show for a while, the whole game show is like that, and there's a lot of over-the-top physicality to it, where people are dropping in pits and being yanked up in the air and as consequence and having to crawl around and moving things. It really...
Right.
I watched the premiere episode and I was like, this is so Japanese game show. Somebody
She's trying to
finally
steal
brought it
from
to
them
America.
and make it her own.
Because those are crazy. Those are crazy.
And this is Ellen DeGeneres?
Yeah. Yeah, she's got a
Interesting.
game show now.
I'm a huge fan of a woman named Karen Kilgariff, who is a comedian and a comedy writer. She writes for Baskets right now, and she does co-hosts My Favorite Murder. But she was also on Mr. Show with Bob and David, which is where I know her. And I followed her on Twitter. She responds to me a couple times or whatever. But she used to be a writer on Ellen, and she told some horror stories about working on Ellen's show for a while. Way back when on Mark Maron's WTF, and so it's yeah.
Oh, don't wreck
so
it.
I don't know.
I love Ellen.
I don't know. I mean, not that has anything to do with this, but I'm just talking away. But yeah,
I had a crush on her wife way before they got married. There is that.
but this press conference is hilarious, and I mean, to me, even though I couldn't understand it and I had to read the subtitles, but it was just so. I don't know, like it actually says something about these people that they put this together as a fun thing when, city commissions and smaller local governments around the state of the United States can't get their crap together, argue, threaten each other, and would never dream of doing anything funny, so I don't know. Kind of, I'm gonna give it a little nod. Like, wait do you guys like? I don't know. Maybe it'll make kids a little bit more interested in government.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm reaching.
Maybe they'll just sell a lot of noodles. So we'll move on to our discussion topic. We were going to talk about kind of the YouTube stars and that phenomenon, but in the light of the recent today incident that happened at their home building, we thought it might be a little insensitive, so we're just gonna wing it. I don't know what we're gonna talk about. Could be anything.
Well,
but
we talked so much we don't have a ton of time left, so it's fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we've been chattering, so we just have to fill 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is really horrible because you guys planned this. Like, I mean, this is no joke, guys. You guys planned this before you asked if I could come back because Jen couldn't come back. You guys totally planned this for days, and then I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll do research. I actually was kind of involved heavily with some major YouTube people back in 2009, 2008, and 2010. However, today I couldn't tell you anything about YouTube stars because I guess I'm an old lady, and and it's a much younger thing. But man, does my heart go out to these people right now. Like, I don't know who you are, but I mean, I have known some people who work there. They're not just necessarily YouTube stars, but people who run the facility, the people who work there. And I will say I'm kind of shocked that it was a woman shooter this time.
That was that was an extra weird punch. Like, shout out to my Pokemon Raiders. They were short, called me out, and I jumped in the car, and it was like NPR was on, and I heard about it. I was like, oh. And actually, Jackie, Linda and I had decided on a different topic.
Oh.
And we're getting ready for that, and then I was like, oh, well, I think I'm going to save that for when Jen comes back. So we're going to talk about this other thing, and then we invited you. So we're working on more show notes, and then this happened within, I found out about an hour and a half before we were supposed to record.
Yeah, I didn't even know until Ember mentioned it. And I was just like,
I didn't either.
Well.
I got to the raid, I'm like, thanks for saving my ass, because I was just about to go on the internet and do something live horribly insensitive that I talked about doing yesterday live.
It would have, because I would have been, adding all this, some minor criticism, well, I don't really understand why Hollywood, in a way, is kind of regulating people to this thing, and it's because, but I don't want to say, I said too much. I mean, there's nothing that should come out other than positive, wonderful support.
Yes, absolutely. And my raid team, I had tapped them about what they watch. For pointers, I had talked to my kids about it the last couple of days. Mm-hmm. And so when I came back from the raid, I went in, I turned on the TV, and my 16-year-old on the couch, I was like, well, gotta change topic. He goes, why? And I just turned on the news, and he was like, and then the last thing I saw before I had to get to the computer and start getting set up was that it was a female, and I just, well, that's unusual. And maybe we'll talk about that in the future. I don't want to do that now. I don't want to do that today, but I think we haven't done a heavy topic in a while, but we have tackled them in the past. And we probably all have stories. I have stories from back in the Columbine times when it became, a thing.
Yeah. I have someone very close to me that, the last year of my life was kind of turned upside down by the death of a friend of mine that became kind of a voice person for the Pulse massacre, nightclub massacre, and he died a year after, but I know it was directly related to the stress and everything he went under. It's very clear that it was, and it's really hard for me. And there's just these things that have happened today. I hope to God everybody's going to be fine and comes out of it, but the ramifications last longer than we ever even dream of, Yeah,
it's hard to go back into the environment where, especially a work environment where you felt safe for so long, and then to have that kind of shattered. That indirectly happened to me when I worked at a small grocery store back in college. They actually got robbed one night. One of the cashiers was held up at gunpoint, and so it was really hard to go into work for a few weeks after that, because it was just kind of that shaky feeling of, looking around and being super on guard. So, I don't know, just
it never really leaves you. I mean, I'm sure you feel weird feelings in different places you're in all the time, because it just kind of reminds you of what could have happened, or what could happen, So it's anyways, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Having raising children through this cultural shift has been a thing too. So
I can't imagine.
Yeah. There's been threats and kids arrested in local high schools like last week in my town. And like he was just joking, like.
This is
I'm kind of on the trail end of like I made it through high school before what is it, the gun sensors, what are they called,
Metal detectors.
Metal detectors, yeah, before they were installed. But that, although I guess there was a lot of metal detectors in South Central LA for a long time, but that, yeah, I can't even imagine being a student and what that does. And
that
yeah.
was my life. We had to practice lockdowns. It's even not as bad as now as it was then, but I was at the right age that when that first started becoming, a widespread problem. And we would have a special announcement that was a coded announcement that they would announce over loudspeakers, and then the teacher would go lock the door and we'd all have to sit on the floor.
So it was a unique code to differentiate between that and like a fire or
yes. The fire they would just fire they would just pull the alarm or whatever, and we practice and go outside. But I forget what exactly the message was, but it was a specific name, and then was like so and so is needed at the office for something, and the teachers would know that was the code of there's a shooter or a bomb threat.
Yeah, it's been, I'll tell you the saddest. I grew up, and I was in school with nuclear bomb drills, right?
Well, I'm a little bit after that, but
or
yeah,
go to the gym, because somehow being in one room is going to protect you. I don't know, but we had those kind of drills, and then I watched the wall come down soon after my first son was born, and there was a lot of the Cold War ending, and my kids didn't have to grow up in that, right? And then
so what's the next threat? Because we need one.
And then 9/11 happened, and we moved to North Carolina. About my middle son was like 5 weeks old, so that was a whole new world. And then when Bin Laden was killed, I actually ended up on NPR. Somehow, not sure. I think I called into a show, and then they ended up playing it over and over. But it was the boogeyman that my eldest had grown up with is gone now too. Because it had always evoked, after 9/11, it was like, oh no, we're back to this constant war idea that I did want him to live in fear of. But it seems like very soon the shift after that was my kids have to, when they're in school, start lockdown drills. And now at one of their schools, there is a door open, I know, at the local high school, but at the prep school my other two had gone to, like, you have to be buzzed in. You can't even get in and out during the day, except for designated times when you can pass between buildings, and it's almost, besides lockdown drills, like prison. A permanent state of lockdown. They don't have metal detectors. That's another whole topic I was reading about recently, because we were putting the metal detectors in the wrong school. People are worried about bad neighborhoods and urban, decay and all those black kids and their bad influences, and it's like, and that's where they spent the money to put metal detectors, and it's all white middle class entitled brats shooting up schools, and they don't have metal detectors, and all their parents have guns, where in a more impoverished neighborhood, school is a safe haven. It's where they actually get to eat, right?
Yes.
That's danger being seen in the wrong places because of a strange cultural conditioning that doesn't turn out to be statistically true. So, there's my social rant for the day.
No, so well said, Ember. Like,
Sorry if y'all came here for the plushies. We were going to talk about like cutie pie and stupid
I can
internet
respond
shit.
to everything you said, but I don't want to just. I mean, I don't want to. It's your show. I don't want to move us down that rabbit hole because I loved everything you guys both just said. It's a strange world. When it's much better to sit around and talk about the villains being a comic book villain than to talk about this crazy real life stuff. And yeah, my heart goes out to everybody who's, in that YouTube world, even though I don't quite understand it. But
I'm very curious. I'm not willing to speculate about what happened, but I did hear a report on NPR talking about it because there are people who've been threatening YouTube. And it's because they took down a lot of pro-gun, how to build your weapons, how to make your own ammunition videos. YouTube pulled them. And then this happened. So, I don't know. We don't know. It was a female,
we don't, yeah.
Which is another, that is more statistically a crime of passion. So it could have been very much more like, the Disney one that happened where it was like, a breakup and somebody freaked out. We have no idea. At least
zero.
Since an hour ago when I started doing this instead, I have no idea. But hopefully we'll find out.
Yep.
The NPR person was almost crying. Because she's very involved. She's like the person who covers that tech world stuff. She's the on-site. I can't remember her name. And she was trying to describe the scene. And those workplaces, we've heard about how great it is, like Google and YouTube, and they got their segues.
Silicon Valley makes jokes of it every week.
Yeah. I mean, now those facilities designed about, comfort and sereneness and... Oh.
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of BuzzFeed videos lately, and they actually show a lot of their office. The people that are making these videos that are either they're trying things out or they're buying things to try to. It's a lot of different types of videos that they do at BuzzFeed, but I know what their office place looks like now because they do so many shots just of them walking around the office and interacting with their coworkers, who are the other people that make videos at BuzzFeed. And so I was like, it occurs to me that it was probably something like that over at YouTube. And
yep.
Oh boy.
Wow, I just had I hope those people had gone home for the day. Mm-hmm. Do you guys listen to DTNS?
I missed it today.
Well, it wasn't today,
yes,
but recently they were doing stories talking about workplace changes that were being made for people that are doing the content filtering, like having to watch videos to see when they're reported to see if they're actually disturbing stuff that has to be pulled, and the stress of that kind of work environment and making sure they get the proper mental health care.
Huh.
Yeah, that was the horror that just occurred to me. Is somewhere in that building there was a room of people, and that was their job.
Yep. It's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, nowhere.
No.
Nowhere. Nowhere are you ever going to find that rainbow. Other than at home with your family and your pets.
I don't know. I've been to this really great commune where you just go hang out naked all week. Up in southern tier of New York, that is wonderful. Just big bonfires
Wyoming,
all night.
Yeah,
people drinking wine and playing drums and cooperating all day to get wood,
playing
and build
video
a giant
games,
pyre, and
hanging out.
Yeah, there's video games, hanging out.
We need to start a really good video game commune. Live streaming, podcasting, video game commune where we just talk about those things and we just don't pay attention.
Isn't that Twitch?
Who's president? I don't know. I haven't checked in lately. Has there been an election? I mean, it's probably about time now. It's been 4 years. Yeah, I don't care. It's fine.
Kind of an offshoot of that just reminded me. Have either of you played What Remains of Edith Finch?
No.
Nope.
It's one that I've seen some other people play some of. I want to play it myself. It's probably the next one I'm going to stream. It's just basically a game where you walk around and investigate this old house. It's not like jump scary or anything like that. It calls itself a walking simulator, but you're learning about this family as you're going through the house and going through different rooms. And it does have a little bit of melancholy in it because the family is apparently cursed. But it's what's
the name of this again? Because
What Remains of Edith Finch.
Okay.
So it is very pretty. It is so like well made and just so many things to look at. It's so gorgeous. And
What platform?
It's on PC.
Okay.
And I don't know what
Found
else.
it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I don't know what my Steam because you can
Says
get
it
off
on-
Steam.
Is on Steam. It says.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of I don't know. It kind of like almost vaguely like makes me think of like the episode of Black Mirror called Playtest. Dan Trachtenberg, our friend from Attack of the Show, not Attack of the Show. Yeah, Attack of the Show. Yeah, with Jeff Kanata and Alex Albrecht. Well, it's funny that I thought Alex last. But yeah. That was a really weird episode of Black Mirror. If you guys have watched that, but like that, I don't know. That sounds pretty cool.
Put a link to the site for the game from giantsparrow.com in our show notes. It is available on PS4, Xbox One, and on Windows via Steam.
And it's like $20 on Steam. It's so worth it though. It's so pretty. And I want to go through it myself because it's just so cool.
Awesome.
That looks fun. Thank you for giving us something positive to do after that sad talk.
Well, yeah, we were talking about a gaming commune, and I'm like, you know what? We're not actually living in a commune, but I can suggest a game.
An online commune.
Yes.
Multiple communities.
So we want to
kind
of close it there and move on to other things. So if you guys, I know this was kind of a rough one, but if you guys want to chime in, you can email us at geekgirls@gmail.com, or you can give us a ring at 508-474-5577. We'd love to hear from you, and hopefully we won't have to do such a heavy topic next week. So, Grills, what are you most anticipating right now? Jackie, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. And I didn't add this to the doc yet because I honestly couldn't think of anything. so it is. I guess I'm looking forward to, as usual, the next episode of Atlanta, which will be on a Wednesday. I mean, if we're going to go week by week, or Thursday. But yeah, I guess I'm still looking forward to getting my finger puppets done and possibly. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I can make it to the Vegas, the morning stream meetup, and hang out and meet with you guys in person a little bit. It'll only be a day trip for me, but I guess that is the biggest thing aside from Isles of Dogs, which I mentioned last time. And yeah, that would be it. That's fair. That's enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Amber?
Yeah.
I am texting. I am finishing up Ready Player One. I am almost finished with it. I'm not sure. Hopefully the Kickstarter is still going for the sequel. It's Tom Merritt's new book. I will look and I will add a link if that's still going because I'll probably go support it later if it is.
Oh, the ink shares?
Yeah.
For yeah. I can pull that up for you while you continue talking.
All right. I'm placing my beer order. It's good. Okay, I'm gonna make myself go on a little road trip tomorrow, I think. I wanted to mention, Linda, in case you didn't know, with the quests on Pokemon Go, you can delete them. If they're something that just really, it's too hard. It's hard to see the little trash can, but you can delete them and get a different quest if it just seems like insurmountable. But I've got one right now to spin 3 Pokestops I never have. And the kids are on spring break, and they want to do nothing but play video games for 12 hours a day. And the weather's been good, so I'm going to look for somewhere fun to go and force my children out of the house against their will for a while, and use Pokemon Go as extra motivation to do that and walk my fat ass around somewhere new.
Cool. I am looking forward to this weekend on Saturday. Glitter Dice is going to be doing our Patreon content, which is our board game night. We're playing during the day, so whatever. But it's going to be like a little special stream that our patrons can get access to, and we're going to be playing Seven Wonders, which is an excellent game. I don't know if y'all have played before, but basically, I mean, you get your little kind of board that has a city on it, and you are in charge of that city. So let's say I get Rome, and let's say that my neighbor gets Egypt. So what you do is you go through ages, and you trade with your you trade with your neighbors, or wage war on them, whichever you prefer, and you get victory points for doing certain things and building certain monuments and building up certain types of infrastructure in your city. And at the end of 3 ages, you tally up all your victory points, and whoever has the most wins. So I am looking forward to that because it's a fun little game, and it's super pretty. And we have, because my husband is, super into it, we've got, 2 of the expansions. So it's going to be super detailed because we're going to have extra things. All the things.
All the things. Heck, all the things.
And I see, thank you for the link to Trigor. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can go to inkshares.com/books/Trigor if you want to Trigor, if you want to support Tom Merritt's book. He is in the middle of funding. He's got 74 days left, and yeah. Hey, I've got somewhere in the background here, where somewhere near my finger, you can see the other Pilot X that I have on my shelf. I should be reading, but no, I mean, I read it. It's great. It's great. It's also an Audible, so you can go to TomMerrittBooks.com if you want to find out all the information about Tom Merritt's books. So yeah. I'll use that as my personal plug. So
it's like a $10 pre-order, by the way, to support this project. So I suggest you go ahead, and maybe we should get Tom on the show soon. So.
And you get the book before everybody else.
Yes.
So.
Yep.
Because I'm really enjoying Pilot X. It's good. Good.
And remember, folks, if you want the Geek Girls podcast before it is released, you can come watch us record live at twitch.tv/geekgirls on Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Did you see how I slipped that in there? Good little...
Well done. But by the way, also, guys, come on, support this lovely show. You can do that most directly by going to www.patreon.com. Do I need to say www anymore? No. Patreon.com/geek. Grills. Patreon.com/grills. So thank you to all of you wonderful, wonderful people who support things you like and watch. And remember, you can give your feedback, as always, is welcome. Tell us how the show's going, or how the show's going. I don't know, I'm talking as if I'm a part of it now. I am this week, or this week and last week. So, and, still the contest is going, so you can definitely still submit codes, or get codes, basically, from their giveaway. So for the next few listeners that sign up! Hurry, get over to your computer, sign up. You can get codes, and for a list of those games and the codes available, go to geekgrills.com. I got it right this time.
Yay. And $10, I think it's $10 patrons get swag. I will make you a thing. I will make you a soft thing.
Right on. and her stuff is great.
It is so great.
So you can't miss out on that, guys.
Get some stills of that to post on our website, like your plushy stuff, all our projects. We keep meaning to do that. Not
Patreon.com/grills, because I mean, I know. Honestly, I'm just going to take a side note and say I know that it's hard to like support Patreons because there's always so many Patreons, but when you start a Patreon and you give $1 and then they give you $1 back and it kind of equals out or whatever, the bottom line is we're all supporting each other and it's making it more. We're only encouraging each other more and more, and giving us more exposure and making this community greater and greater. So, come on, give $1. Patreon.com/grills, and check out geekgrills.com.
Mm-hmm. You can also leave a free review over on our whatever platform you have for podcatching, iTunes, Stitcher, all that good stuff. It helps people find our podcast when you leave us a review. And I mean, I was gonna say leave a nice one, but we'll take any reviews. And you can also feel free to join our Facebook group and follow us on Twitter at Geek Grills if you'd like to spread the word, or talk to your friends, do the chatter next, at each other, and then.
Yes, everybody do come on over and follow the new Twitch page. I want to remind folks, we're still trying to get up to 50 followers. Follows are free, and once we get affiliate, it'll help, and you can just click and sub, and instead of having to go over to Patreon to give us money, even though we get more there. But Twitch is a nice place too to come hang out, and I have met so many cool people on Twitch.
Yeah. I actually got followed last night when I was doing my stream by just a gentleman that follows people that are not affiliate yet, and he gives them shout outs on his streams.
Aww.
Like, just because they're not affiliated yet. And so I was like, yay, thank you.
Yeah, we've had some really great people shout us out, but I don't know, I guess
I gave you
they already
guys
follow my channel and like no, we gotta do this one. No, this one.
Yeah.
I gave you guys a shout out this week. There was a Diamond Club B team movie draft, and part of the reason I was involved was that Jen wanted to do it, I was going to do it, and so I guess they couldn't have more than one female group in the bunch, so they were going to put me and Jen together and call it Team Geek Grills. So since Jen couldn't be there, I had Fitz help me, because Fitz wanted to do it as well and couldn't get in, and so I don't know how well he did, but I plugged the crap out of Geek Grills, and I said, the reason we could have been here is because of the Jen, and go check out Geek Grills, and I told people to follow you guys there. So if anybody watched that, and so I don't know.
Yeah, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Sure,
I'm just trying to figure out. I probably should
pat
have
on my back.
I should have probably checked the Slack, because I'm on the Diamond Club B team. That's how we did the New Year's Eve stream, and I didn't get anything about it, so that's weird.
Oh no,
cool.
this was a different thing put together by a different person.
Okay,
and they called it the B team, which I don't like. I hate the term, because we're all
whatever.
We're all the A team.
All 8.
Like, there's no B team.
So where can we find y'all on the interwebs, Ember?
I can be reached at 9 of 12 on Twitter and Twitch, and that's it.
And okay.
Sorry, that show's canceled.
Oh no.
Yeah. Jen can be found at the Jen Says on Twitter and streaming at twitch.tv/thejenplays.
I'm Jackie Hern 81 on Twitter, but lately I've been streaming a little bit more, trying to get that affiliate, because I can't commit the time, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it this week. I swear I'm going to do it when I commit the time, get the hours in, and that is twitch.tv/Jackie Hern.
And you can also listen to me talk about women in gaming on the Glitter Dice podcast, and hear us play some games on Glitter Dice Plays. And you can find me on Twitch under the name True Noob, TRUT Are You in 00B? Sorry, I lost my thought there for a second. It's where I do my fleshy streams and also games now. So there's that.
Yay!
Yay.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody. Good game.
Good game.
GG.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
Not skipping that part of the outro. I did send Jen the transcription she was asking for of the outro to try and shorten, shift, record, re-record, whatever we're going to do. We might just do something completely different or nothing. And maybe I'll shove it in there and maybe it won't. But it was just way too much. And repeating stuff we already did in the show. Speaking of, I will change the template. Because I noticed we're not mentioning the Grill's Twitter when we get the phone number and the email. So
That's true.
there's that. Okay. Cool. So we're done. Thank you, Jackie, for standing in again. Yay.
Of course. Thank you so much. I'm so honored. Like, I didn't feel like I did that good last week. And
you did
like, they're never
great.
going to ask
You're
me
great.
back. And then a couple days later, I'm in the grocery store and I get a message on my phone and, hey, would you? And I was like, yes, I would love to. So thank you. It was great to be back.
So, why is
and,
everything logged into my account? Who we want to raid? Who's on? I think Jet is on.
Who let the raid
Frog
out?
Pants is on. Mike TV is on.
Yeah, Mike's on. Yep.
Let's see.
Let
Let me see if I've got some people or something that are not as big as Mike. You know, just to kind of give somebody.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess I got just Mike and
Well, I've got Mike.
Current
and,
Geek.
Yeah,
But-
Current Geek. And Joss and Funky Monk. He's fun. I swore I got a live notice that Jet went on, and now it's not showing up.
Yeah, I mean, I would say because like the next one I would anticipate coming on, it would be Jack, but they don't like they basically start the stream and then they like Bryce
Yeah, but
goes
they're
away
not.
for
They're
5
usually on
minutes
by
and-
now.
Nope. Are they on that now?
Usually, but they're not showing.
Yeah,
Usually
it's
they are.
usually.
By
I
the
think
time
it's
we
about
end, they've got usually a pre-show going.
at the top of the hour. I would think it would start normally, but you know, I don't know. But yeah, I'm
run
good
into
with
it every
anything you
time,
guys
so.
want to do.
Let's not host. Mike, because he'll be on longer probably. So everybody pops over there
And say
please
what?
say, I don't know. I don't know. Just that Geek Grills loves him. It's fine with me.
Love from GG.
Love from GG.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, we
Gotta
got
stop.
7, 8, 7,
Like-
6, 7. Alrighty.
Oh, and I
Alright,
forgot to host you.
alright.
I'll have to do
that's what I'm
that
gonna say. I'm gonna say
another
say,
time.
alright. Geek Girls love you.
Sometime, okay. Sometime we'll get on at the same time, and I'll mod you, or I can probably do it while we're off. I'll mod you on the new channel, Jackie.
Oh, okay.
It's just hard to do. I can't run Chrome on the Mac while I'm streaming without everything freaking out. So.
Oh, no problem. I mean, I'm not the best mod. Let's see.